Alright, as much as I'd love a refresh for Windows 10, I'm just wondering why the originality went out the window. Because yes, we have some new leaks that show us what Windows 11 will look like, and well, some of it is good and some of it is still Windows Vista. It looks like OnePlus and OPPO are going to take further steps to have both companies work together, which seems like stating the obvious, and Apple's new health features might expand to more devices like, for example, even AirPods in the near future. I'm Jaime Rivera, and fine, I will admit that Apple pretty much copied live tiles for widgets on iOS 14, only for Windows to get rid of them like later. I mean, there's so much to talk about here. This is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today begin with deals, and two things. One, you can skip this in the time codes, and second, well, as we're getting closer to Prime Day, you might not want to. Let's begin with Samsung, as the brand new Galaxy Book Pro is already $150 off, leaving the 1/2 terabyte of storage variant for $1149. The OnePlus 8T is also $200 off, leaving the 12 gigs of RAM variant for $550. The Galaxy S21 Plus is also available for $295 off its price tag, leaving the base model for $700 in silver, which is a pretty good deal. And sticking to Sammy, the Galaxy Note 20 is available for $55 off, leaving the base model for $944. I know the S21 Plus sounds like a better deal, but if you're looking for some headphones, the Beats Studio 3 are $150 off, leaving them at $200. Finally, if you want to save both time and money, we have a special promotion for NordPass Premium, which is still running, and you're getting a 70% discount on one of the best password managers in the market. We also have deals on AMD CPUs, Samsung 4K TVs, AirPods Pro, and more in the description. Let's keep talking official news and shift focus onto Honor, because well, the company just made a very interesting launch, and bear with me as I cover the interesting part soon. See, today we got the Honor 50 series, which consists of the Honor 50, 50 Pro, and 50 SE. The higher end variant marks Honor's jump to Qualcomm chips, as it's powered by the Snapdragon 778G, while the SE will rely on MediaTek's Dimensity 900. Now, focusing on the higher tiers, you get a 6.72-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display running at 120 Hz. We have a quad camera setup at the back with a 108 megapixel main sensor, an 8 megapixel ultra wide, and my favorites, 2 megapixel macro and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. Now, the differences here are the battery, where the Pro has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery with 100 watt charging, while the regular 50 brings a 4,300 milliamp hour power pack with slower charging. And I know I had to read that again, but yes, 70% battery in 20 minutes. Now, what makes the devices interesting is that they are currently available in China for around $422 and $578 respectively, but the international variants will reportedly bring Google Play services, which would be the first time in a while for Honor. Also, notice how the camera bump almost is identical to what we're getting on the Huawei P50 Pro, and here I was thinking that they were completely separate companies. Let's move the spotlight to Cupertino and AirPods, but not for the reasons you expect. See, the company made a ton of emphasis on their new health features back at WWDC, like the fact that you can now add your medical history, as well as being able to gather extra information from your watch. Heck, you even saw how your iPhone can now measure how well you walk and stuff. And well, the VP of technology at Apple just hinted that the company might use AirPods to provide even more health data and improve results. On an interview with TechCrunch, he claims that there is even more potential in sensor fusion, where features like walking steadiness is not only a combination of the iPhone and the Apple Watch, as it can expand to other devices if they have the sensors to allow it. The interview ended by asking Lynch what kind of possibilities would open up when considering AirPods bring their own sensors to gather different data, and he responded by saying they already do sensor fusion across some devices, and he believes there's all kinds of potential here. The reason we're covering this is because, if you remember, a previous report from Mark Gurman claimed that the next generation AirPods Pro could include an updated motion sensor to focus on fitness tracking, and with these new health features, it doesn't look too far-fetched. We'll see what happens in Q3. All right, let's go back to official news, but on an interesting twist of events from OnePlus and OPPO. We know that even if both of these companies are independent, they are both owned by the same parent company, BBK. I mean, it made sense for them to have a ton of similarities, which we have seen over the years with their smartphone designs. And hey, Pete Lau and Carl Pei both came from OPPO at first, and then they successfully managed to give OnePlus an identity of its own. Well, today we got a new forum post from OnePlus where they are announcing a new journey. On the post, Pete talks about OnePlus's journey so far and goes on to explain how he took responsibilities to oversee product strategy for both OnePlus and OPPO last year. As a result, this led to them sort of merging some of their teams in order to share resources. And well, after seeing a positive impact over the last year, he claims that they will now have a deeper integration with OPPO, giving them more resources to make better products and will allow them to be more efficient, like for example giving faster and more stable software updates. However, he does mention that OnePlus will continue to work independently and will stick to their mission. And I'm not gonna lie, this does make me happy because I feel that having some OPPO Find X3 Pro camera tuning reach any OnePlus phone will help them perform dramatically better than this whole Hasselblad negotiation, but oh well. But alright, for the hottest news today, let's move on to Microsoft and Windows 11. I know, when was the last time that Windows made this show? And it's such an oddity given how our origin as Pocketnow came from the Pocket PC OS that Microsoft now did away with. Anyways, we're still a week away from the event, but we just got some new leaks from Tom Warren on Twitter showing us what Windows 11's UI can look like. And well, I mean, it looks nice, clearly performs better in tablet mode, but is it just me, or does it look like Microsoft grabbed Windows 10 and said, hey, let's just throw a macOS skin on this? See, the items in the taskbar are now centered by default, kind of like Apple's dock, though no worries, you can move them to the left for muscle memory's sake. But then the live tile UI and the sharp corners are gone. Everything has rounded corners now, like the Mac ever since day one in 1984. You now get a widgets UI instead of those live tiles, which I don't need to state the obvious again. Like, pretty much the only reason you know this is Windows is because of the hilarious fact that the control panel is the same one from Windows Vista, and I think the sound menu is from like what, Windows 98? And guys, you can hate all you want, but come on. That said, on a serious note, it looks like Microsoft is trying to simplify things as much as they can. The startup menu looks much cleaner with your pinned apps at the top, quick controls for shutdown or restart, and don't worry, there is dark mode here. We're also getting new boot up animations, new startup sounds, and more. So it looks like Microsoft's goal was to refine and simplify Windows 10, and hey, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look like they removed or added a ton of features here. With that being said, in today's question, let us know. I mean, what do you think about this Windows 11 design? Because fine, even with my earlier comments, I gotta say that I like how it performs on tablets, for example. There is a whole other demo that you could also watch from our friends over at Windows Central where they go on a deep dive over how the UI performs, and I like a lot of what I see. Well, how it performs mainly, not necessarily what I see, but that's just me. Leave us a comment down below. I am really curious to hear your opinion. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. You can also follow us on social media, as our extended coverage happens on Instagram. And follow me on my personal handles to see me try my best to not mock Windows, but I mean, come on, I like it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.